Spotlight here on your community cable network. I'm Bob Hickos along with Ted McFerrin. Tonight we come to you from Milton's Alumni Stadium, where the 2-4 Milton Black Panthers will take on the 3-3 Danville Ironmen. Ted, after a slow start, the Danville Ironmen seem to have caught fire a little bit, and Milton has gotten a little bit more healthy. What should we expect in tonight's game?
Well, I think from Danville's standpoint, you have to realize that they had a new coach, a new program. The kids had to get used to the new system. It took them a little while. They are coming on now. They're playing good football. Milton is getting healthier, and that's what Max Schneider is hoping will help them tonight. You're going to see two teams with contrasting styles tonight. You're going to see Milton, who's basically a running game with Mark Earp and Mike Swigert running the ball. And on the Danville side of the ball, you're going to have basically a throwing game. Scott Perquette has thrown for over 1,100 yards, and he's got 11 touchdowns. So it should be an interesting game.
Well, stay with us. We'll have all the action when we return after this timeout. Alumni Stadium, where the Black Panthers are trying to get healthy and get another win here. They are 2-4. While, as we said before, Danville 3-3, and it, as you earlier prognosticated, Ted, probably will be a battle of the air against the ground.
The Air Force and the infantry.
That's
tonight.
right. Danville has won the toss, and they deferred into the second half. Now we're getting ready to start here with a fresh 12 minutes on the board. Want to thank Jeff Yentz, the Milton Athletic Director, for this fine press packet that he has given us.
He's a very well organized man. He's got everything for us up here. I know we could use a hot dog and a drink, but maybe that's coming in future years, hopefully.
Oh, Ted.
Mike Swigert, He's for Milton.
Mark. I lied.
That's Mike Swigert, David Andino back there.
I'm lying already. Game
there
just started.
Looks like Swigert.
Travis Miller with a kickoff. Swigert takes it. He's crossed 20 down 25 and gets to the 30-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Milton Black Panthers. And with tonight's starting lineup for Milton, here's Ted McFerrin.
That split at number 34, David Andino. At left tackle, number 74, John Hartley. At left guard, number 56, Zach Dietrich. At center, number 54, Kevin Benich. At right guard, number 52, Nate Chamberlain. At right tackle, number 66, Adam Stallnecker. And at tight end, number 42, Ron Ingram.
Milton comes out in the wishbone, send receivers wide to the right. Light with a handoff up the middle.
Looked like Herb with that first carry.
Herb will get a couple on it. It'll bring up a 2nd and 6.
At fullback, number 26, Travis Delsite. At slot back, number 14, Mike Swigert. At slot back, number 24, Mark Herb. And at quarterback, number 12, Kevin Light.
Light is a sophomore, 5'9", 141 pounds. This time they send Andino wide to the left. Handoff to Swigert. He'll get a couple on that and be knocked down at the 37-yard line, where it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 4.
I'll tell you, Bob, you can't ask for a better night than tonight, isn't it? Beautiful, beautiful night for a football game.
This week was just fabulous.
Look at the coaches. Some of them have their shorts and short sleeve shirts still on. This is just fantastic football weather.
There you get a look inside the Milton huddle. Kevin Light, number 12, the quarterback. They'll split Andino wide to the right. This is the bottom of your screen, out of the wishbone. Oop, and there's going to be a penalty. Going against Milton.
Well, I know the Danville kids jumped first, but I don't think they made any contact. Yep, it's gone against Milton. Defense is able to get back. Once the Milton lineman moved, they were in motion.
We'll make a 3rd down.
First mistake.
Dead ball.
With
Legal
Milton.
procedure. Offense. Still third down.
Milton can't afford to make those, especially on a third and a short situation.
The officials, referee Willis Mann, who you just heard. The umpire is Jim Shimp. Linesman is Glenn Kepner. The line judge is Roger Heckroth. In the back judge is Phil Gingery. Where it's 3rd and 9 now. Sent Herb in motion, light back to pass. He's being pursued.
And he might have got the first down there, Bob. I think he's close.
He hits Mark Herb, and let's see, I believe they'll probably measure this one to see. They're going to eyeball it.
They're gonna.
And it's a first down.
Yes, nice sprint out pass by Kevin Light to Mark Herb. Crossing pattern in the flat there.
First down of the night here on this drive. It'll be 1st and 10 on their own 41-yard line. Just underway here, 9:55 to go in the first quarter. They'll be working from the short side of the field, the near hash. Handoff goes to Herb, and he kind of got tangled up, and he will actually lose a yard on that. Now the ball will be spotted on the 40-yard line.
He got tangled up in the feet of Zach Dietrich. Zach was a pulling guard coming around the end, and he pulled a little bit deep, and he got caught up with Mark Herb, causing him to trip.
2nd and 11 from the 40, out of the wishbone. Same formation on a near hash.
Coming again.
Light hands off to Herb. Herb tries to find some holes up the middle. He'll get across the 45 down to the 46, and it'll be 3rd down, and calculate here about 6.
They're sticking to the ground here. I would think maybe this time with the wide field to the left, I think maybe they're going to sprint Kevin out to the left with the option to either throw or run.
And there is the option, and it goes to Swaggart. He's across the 40, across the 50, the 45, the 40, and knocked down at the 36-yard line. It's a first down, and Milton able to move the sticks one more time.
Well, there's nobody over there to come up to pick up the pitch man. He had a man taking the quarterback, but there was nobody on the pitch man. Danville's got to make an adjustment there. Milton was going to come back and run that all night.
Well, now they are on the far hash mark. You could probably see that again run this way.
Yeah, wouldn't doubt it.
Run a couple up the middle, set that up.
Yeah, they're going to, with the option, you got to run the fullback once in a while to get the option running right.
And there that goes. Good first hit by Brandon Earlston.
By Alexander. 2nd down.
As well as Kyle Alexander. Who ran that ball? Was that Herb on that one too?
Yes, I think so.
And it is 2nd and 10. Well, they'll spread in. Well,
Option to the right. That's what you said. Coming back. They have no.
Oh, and there's a flag coming in late.
The holding against Milton. But going back to that option there, they're taking Kevin Light, but they're not doing anything with the pitch man. They're going to have somebody come up on that pitch man. The Swaggart and Herb are too fast.
And they're going to, officials discussing it. Willis Mann getting ready there to make the call.
Holding. Block. Still 2nd down.
Coach Max Schneider does not like that call. I just heard somebody say, let him play the game, but...
Yeah, I can remember making those
Comments?
pleads to the officials.
Somebody help me.
Basically, in high school football, you can look. There could be holding in every play. You could call it almost every play.
Well, it now is 2nd and 15. They'll spread Andino out wide to the left. There goes the pitch to Swaggart. He's retreating, and he just falls forward back to the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit there.
Yeah, they had
by
4
Earlston.
men. They had 4 guys converging on that ball. Pete Wonderland was coming from his linebacker position.
Yep, Pete Wonderland in on that tackle, as they just had good pursuit, and they'll actually lose a couple on that. I thought he got back to the line of scrimmage, but he didn't.
It's 3rd and long, Bob.
It's
now
like
you,
16
now you're
or
going to have
17.
to throw the ball.
Andino wide to the left, out of the wishbone. Light hands off to Swigert, and he goes down again, and he'll get to the 40-yard line. You in 4 down territory here? You're on the 40. It's 4th.
Man, I would punt it. I'd punt it. I'd tell the punter, pooch it. Even if you kick it out inside the 10-yard line, out of bounds, do it. Make Danville go the full field.
Back deep for the Ironmen will be Adam Moser.
And Ryan Sanders.
And Ryan Sanders. They'll be standing on the 10-yard line.
That's a smart punt. That's a good.
Kicks it out of bounds on the 11-yard line. You know, in the NFL, they don't even do that anymore. Nobody goes to the coffin corner because they want to send everybody down and try to field the run.
Well, you know, they're so fast. They get down there and they try to get down there to catch it. They're so quick. Well, that's good. Now they got Milton, the heads-up play there. Now Danville's got to go, you know, almost the full length of the field to score, and chances are there'll be mistakes made. But I think you'll see a different style here now.
As they get ready to run this first play at 6 minutes, Milton controlled the ball for the first 6 minutes of the game. Perquette with a pitch. Oh my, that was bobbled right from the get-go. I believe that was
Ben McConnell, I think.
McConnell on the carry, and with Danville's starting lineup, here's Ted.
At split end, number 20, Adam Moser. At left tackle, number 67, Ryan Daly. At left guard, number 51, Aston White. At center, number 58, Matt Gertie. At right guard, number 56, Pete Wonderland. At right tackle, number 50, Jeff Vernon. And at tight end, number 32, Joel Hummer.
Second and 8. Perquette back to pass, which we thought he would. He steps up, and he is going to be knocked down inside the 10-yard line.
At split end for Danville, number 21, Ryan Sanders. At fullback, number 38, Rolando Fernandez. And at tailback, number 8, Ben McConnell. Quarterback, number 7, Scott Perquette.
Kevin Benage in on that tackle.
I think what you could see here is when Perquette drops back to pass, Milton's line is going to pressure him because I think they have a better group of players on the ball.
Danville spreads them out wide. 2 receivers wide to the right. Out of the shotgun, Perquette goes back.
He's going to come up way short of the first down.
I'm trying to see.
That was Moser with that reception.
Adam Moser. And they just run a little out pattern to him, and Danville will be forced to punt the ball again. I mean, just starting to punt the ball.
Aston White back to punt. Now you're looking at field position, a change in field position here for Milton.
White is a real good punter. That one skips off the ground. No pressure. And it'll be taken immediately by Andino, and he is knocked down.
I think by Rolando Fernandez, I believe. Yep. Nice coverage there. The pitcher, the punter, Aston White, fielded that like Jim Tomey at first base, fielding the ground ball.
Aston White, a former CCM Player of the Game winner.
That's right. Good punter.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Black Panthers at the 45-yard line of the Ironmen. We are just at 4:24 in the first, scoreless here at Milton's Alumni Field. A little bit different of a formation here, split backs. To Swigert, he's across the 40, down to the 35.
They came out with a tight slot to the left in that formation, and they ran a counter or a crossing action in the backfield pulled a guard, looked like, and down block there, and Swiger just followed his blocking off the left tackle, left end area. He gets the ball and he gets a head of steam. He's moving quick.
Herb came into tonight's game with how many yards?
Herb came in with 354 yards and 58 carries, and Swigert had 329 and 71 carries.
Same formation once again, first 10.
Same
Swigert
play.
again. He tries to turn the corner, and he
does.
gets across the 30 down to the 27-yard line. There's Coach Snyder on the field. He's wearing the short pants. And the big head there on the bottom of the screen is the athletic director, Jeff Yentz, who just provided us with all this great information.
What's happening right now is what I thought would, Bob. Milton's line is taking control of this game. It's taking control of the line of scrimmage, and they're able to run the ball.
Second and a long 4. Out of the wishbone once again. Light will hand off to Herb. Herb's across the 25 down to the 23-yard line. Let's see, he is going to be short of the first down by a couple. And Milton pretty much has got control of the ball so far and control of the game.
And these guys, you take a look at their linemen and what they're doing. Hartley and Chamberlain and Stolnecker are seniors, but you have 2 sophomores and Dietrich and Bennett in there who are doing a fine job of blocking and making holes for Swigert and Herb.
And there goes Herb. He's through the hole. Touchdown. He just squirted through there, and he gets Milton on the board first, 6-0.
Yeah, that was just an off-tackle play to the right, and Herb cut it back up through the center, basically, and there was nobody there. He did break a tackle, an arm tackle, but he kept his balance, and he just regained his balance and headed in the end zone. Nice, hard run.
Milton will attempt the extra point. Snap is down, the kick is way high, and it's no good. Was that a hit? I'm not sure if anybody touched it. Corey Durr with the point after attempt. And Milton's woes on extra points continue. It is Milton 6, Danville nothing. Stay with us. We'll have more action when we return after this timeout. Max Snyder working the sidelines just a few moments ago, trying to get the crowd into it as Milton goes up by a touchdown here in the first quarter. We're at 3:16.
Bob, Milton has to be happy. You look at the last 3 games they've played, they've scored a total of 13 points. To come into this game, and score right away in the first quarter has to be uplifting to these kids.
McConnell and Moser back, but the ball is not going to, it one hops Moser. He'll pick the ball up, and he'll be knocked down at the 26. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Danville Ironmen from their own 26 here.
I'll tell you, hustling down there, see if we can come up with the number. No, we don't have a 17 on here. Yeah, Zachary Marks. Zachary Marks is hustling down there and almost came up with that ball before Moser picked it up.
1st and 10, Perquette out of the shotgun. They got receivers everywhere. They're 4 wide receivers. It's quarterback draw, and he is hit immediately and knocked down for no gain.
Making that tackle, I'm trying to...
Eric Edelston was in it.
Bennett, I believe it was, also is in on that tackle. That play was not going to work from the beginning. It was a high snap from center and threw up the timing. Perquette had to jump up for the ball, and the timing was gone right from the start.
You have a single setback, and again, they spread the receivers wide. They're trying to spread the field here. Perquette again out of the shotgun. And there's another high snap. This time he hits McConnell on about the 30. And it is complete, but it's a short gain and not about 3 yards on that.
Yeah, it was just a quick out.
2:28 to go here in the first. Milton leads 6-0. I'm Bob Heckox along with Ted McFerrin from Milton's Alumni Field.
Well, I think the key to Perquette is he's going to have to get rid of the ball quick because the Milton defensive line is going to be in his face if he doesn't.
Here comes the blitz. And that baby is almost over his head. He sprints out to the right. Oh!
Oh, that could be
Brandon Peeler.
Whoa.
You're thinking Swigert had his hand on him?
I think he had his hand on him before that ball got there, but he got away with it. Hey, if you can do it, do it.
Brandon Peeler, the intended target on that. It'll be 4th down, and it looks like Danville will be forced to punt again. 3 and out. One more time there. You see Coach Wynn on the sideline. Came from Mount Carmel. Aston White to punt this one deep to Andino. Standing on his own 38-yard line. Good snap, little pressure. That kick is high. Good coverage down there, and it goes out of bounds.
They're going to call penalty, though. Roughing the kicker.
If you're roughing Aston White, you're really putting him, because he's 6'1", 230 pounds. Let's hear what the officials have to say on this penalty. As the ball was kicked out on the 31-yard line.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker.
Now that'll give him a 1st down.
I'll give him an automatic 1st down. So the offense comes back on the field for Danville. That's a break.
Because so far the Danville Ironmen have not been able to do anything. Look directly across the field, Ted. You can see the beautiful harvest moon.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
A full moon. We can get a shot of that.
Full moon over Alumni Field. That would be a song. Maybe we can.
Moon over Alumni Field?
Maybe we can. No.
Maybe you can sing it.
I don't want to hear moon over Alumni Field. Maybe harvest moon over Alumni Field.
Well, I don't want to see your moon over the Milton Alumni Field.
You are a piece of work. Getting back to this punt here. Yeah, he might have hit the punter, but it was just a brush, and I think Aston White could have a career in acting. And I think he'd definitely be up for an Oscar on that one, I think.
Regardless, it'll be 1st and 10 after that big 15-yard personal foul. Ball be spotted on the 46-yard line.
Max is living. I'm telling you, he is working that official on this sideline.
Well, there's been at least three penalties against the Black Panthers early here. In the first, we're at 2:13. Send McConnell in motion out of the shotgun. Went back. He's going to throw it right to McConnell. He's across the midfield stripe, knocked down at the 49-yard line. Nice pickup of about 6.
About 6, and that's what they're taking right now. They're taking what Milton's giving them, and they're giving them the flats, the short things in the flat.
There was the moon. You saw it up there for a second. There you see Ben McConnell. McConnell, only a junior, one of the fine athletes for the Ironmen. Whoa, look at that snap. It's almost like a punt snap. Perquette picks up. He's got a peeler.
Oh, no,
he had a step on him.
No, that's not a good. I don't agree with that call.
And apparently the fans don't like that call either.
No.
Peeler had a step on him.
Nope, I think the ball came in contact with the hands and then Swigert hit him. I don't agree with that call at all, but hey, I think Swigert got away with one in the last possession, so I guess things even up in the end. But if you looked at that quarterback when he threw the ball.
Against the defense. 1st down.
When you saw Perquette release that ball, he got hammered. And I'm telling you, Milton linemen are going to get to him. Danville's going to have to do something, keep somebody in to help protect Perquette.
Well, they're going to have to do that, but they're sending receivers 4 wide and only a single setback. And there you see the same formation again. See, Milton looks like it's going to blitz. There's an option to McConnell. He's across the 40, cuts it back to the middle.
Nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go is right.
Number 32, I'll tell you, Charlie Johnson made a great play. Charlie Johnson, a sophomore linebacker, came up and made McConnell stop and change his direction. And then pursuit came and made the tackle.
Danville has been able to get a couple of first downs here on penalties, 15-yard personal fouls. You know, McConnell, he better take a couple of steps back because those snaps are coming firing right at his head. There again, same formation. Milton showing the blitz. Quet up, here it comes. He gets hit, and it was either intended for McConnell or Moser because it landed right in between them. And good pressure on Scott Burquette. There you get to see Burquette. That's probably where he's going to be a lot, is on his back, and he comes up looking a little lame.
Now, he's a big kid. I mean, he's going to be able to take some hits, but not all night. And you're going to have to do something to get some protection on him.
Well, and with a single setback in Milton rushing or getting a blitz in there, hoping to get a mix match in the secondary and hope to complete a pass. Good snap to here they come. That one completes to Moser, and he is knocked out of bounds. He may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Ron Ingram looked like he put a lot of pressure on him, Ted.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, they are getting the pressure on him. They're getting upfield and into his face. And they're coming from different areas. Sometimes they're blitzing up the middle. That time it was an outside. Ingram coming from the outside.
Here you see the signals coming into Travis Delsite. And it is 4th and 11. Same formation. Milton showing blitz, high snap, quarterback keeper. Nowhere for Burquette to go, and they'll turn the ball over on downs on the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Milton. They'll have 23 seconds left in the first quarter, and they lead the game.
Tell you, I would get the center and the quarterback together and say, okay, what's going on with these snaps? They're almost over his head every time, and they're throwing off the timing of our plays.
You don't see very many high schools run the shotgun. Probably that's one of the reasons why.
Well, it definitely takes timing, and definitely takes, you got to be very precise. But right now, they are, man, it's been a couple of times that he's had to jump in order to keep it from going over his head.
Milton will run with 2 setbacks, goes to the second back. Herb, he's across the 30. He was across the 35, and they'll mark him down at the 36. And that will be the last play of the first quarter. People are not liking the officiating.
Is that any different anywhere?
And it is the end of the first quarter. The Milton Black Panthers 6, the Danville Ironmen nothing. Stay with us. We'll have second quarter action after this timeout. Go ahead and start singing on the Harvest Moon.
Moon over Alumni Field, and the Black Panthers are winning after the first quarter.
I'm liking it, man. Keep going.
Moon River.
You are the man.
Yeah.
It brings up a 2nd and 4. Milton has been able to move the ball with the exception of a few penalties.
The penalties have hurt them, and that's how Danville has moved the ball basically, through penalties.
Light to Swaggart, he's across the 35, turns the corner across the 40, down to the 44-yard line. It looks like they will move the chains here. They'll get a first down to start second quarter.
I'll tell you, it looks like Danville is stringing it out. Swaggart has nowhere to go, and then he cuts upfield and he picks up the first down. Now, it's the grunts inside that are making this game go for Milton right now.
Well, so far, I mean, you called it. Milton has moved the ball on the ground, and Danville has tried to move the ball in the air.
Oh, Milton's coming out with an unbalanced to the right, unbalanced line.
Split backs. And it's a handoff up the middle to Delsite. And he'll go down there. Met by Moser as well as Pete Wonderland. Put the smack down on him, and it is now 2nd and 8. They throw that unbalanced line over there thinking that you possibly could run to the right, and then they hand it off the tackle to the left.
I'd like to see that again. I called it an unbalanced line, but they might have had two wings on that side. I'll have to see that again.
That's my favorite kind of chicken, the kind with two wings on one side. Sent Herb in motion. It's going to be an option.
Light is quick feet. Quick
the 50.
feet.
He runs right into a pile of people.
Ball
the ball comes
down.
loose. And it is picked up by Danville's number 71, Steve Crum. Crum, touchdown!
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Wait a minute, what's he got? We got a penalty flag down?
I do not see a flag. I think
It might have been a beanbag, I think, to mark the spot.
Anyway, Danville is on the board with a fumble recovery. How about that? Steve Crum somehow picks it up as Kevin Light goes into a pile at about the 40-some-2-3 yard line. The ball comes out, Ted.
Well,
it was in a big scrum.
It looked like he was fighting for an extra yard, you know, and that's often what happens. You fight for that extra yard and the ball gets knocked loose.
Mark Hummel to tee it up for the point after. The kick is up, and it is good. And Danville quickly takes the lead by a score of 7-6. Lightning strikes for the Ironmen. Stay with us. We'll have more second quarter action after this timeout.
At PIAA, we're building our network so you can...
Or tee it up at the 40, and deep for Milton will be Andino as well as Herb, I think, or Swigert. The kick is a low liner to be taken by Andino. He drops the ball, picks it up. He's across the 20, still on his feet to the 25, and he is swarmed under a host of Ironmen, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Black Panthers. A little bit of a weird play there to end that last.
You know, you look at Kevin Light, he made a nice move upfield. You think he's going to pick up the first down, and then boom, the ball's on the ground, and it's going the other way. And then this could be a big momentum builder for Danville here.
I'm thinking the coaches were actually believing that the ball was on the ground and it was down, because both coaches came out to the field, and already for the Black Panthers, already the coaching staff has got some problems with the officiating. They'll send Herb in motion. The handoff goes up the middle to Swigert.
What Kevin Light has to do is just you know, get over it right now. You got the rest of the game to play. You're only down a point. Play's over. It's done. Get back on the field and get the offense going.
It is now 2nd down and 7. Ball on the 28-yard line. And it looks like the Ironman defense is kind of tightened up a little bit.
Well, maybe they're making some adjustments as they go along. They're going to have to stop Swigert and Herb.
A little bit of a counter play as Herb gets tackled by Brandon Earlston. And it'll be a no gain, 3rd and 7.
You know, I'd said that it looked like in the trenches the Milton players were taking control of the game. And that's nothing, I'm not saying that against the Danville kids in the line there. It's just Milton has more size than Danville.
There you can see some of the linemen, the down linemen for the Ironmen, not exactly giants.
They're relying on their quickness.
Uh-oh.
And Milton with another mistake.
I'm thinking on that one, it almost looked like the ball wasn't snapped at the right time, because both of those guys moved forward at the same time. And we'll get some halftime stats here, but Milton penalized about 5 or 6 times already.
Yeah, they're right now. They're
The ball. Legal procedure. Offense. Still third down.
in a couple of the drives. They've really shot themselves in the foot. Hurt themselves by unnecessary penalties that at this time of the year should not be happening. But when you have a young team, those things will happen.
It is 8:49, and it is a skinny 1-point lead for the Ironmen, 7-6. Light back to pass, back. He's being chased. Oh, he hits Mark Erb wide open on the 40, and he's down at the 41-yard line. They'll move the sticks there. Boy, I tell you, Kevin Light was under some pressure, kept retreating.
But his quickness, that's what gives him that time to read the field and find the open man. He's quick, and he can outrun that pursuit that's coming after him.
And it is a first down on the 41-yard line. Time is at 8:26 from Milton's Alumni Field. They'll spread Andino wide to the left, out of the wishbone. Handoff will go to
Erb off right tackle.
Yeah, Erb will get to the just short of the 45-yard line, call it the 44, gain of a couple on that. Wonderland on the tackle.
I was saying Erb had 354 yards rushing coming into the game with 3 TDs, and Swigert 329 with 2 TDs. Pretty balanced running from either side.
Charlie Johnson into the game, as well as Ron Ingram. And there's a handoff up the middle. Oh, it's Johnson down to the 45-yard line. Squirts through and moves the sticks one more time for the Black Panthers.
Charlie Johnson, a promising sophomore, running the ball real hard. You look at this lineup on the field, Milton has quite a few sophomores playing.
It's almost, we do a lot of soccer, and if you take a look at the Milton soccer team, it's virtually all sophomores too. Good crop of 10th graders and 9th graders coming on up.
Good class of athletes.
And we're calling a timeout here. What are you thinking now, Ted? You've been able to move the ball on the ground.
You can't run the ball and run it consistently. You might as well pack up the bags and go home.
Well, nobody's folding their tent yet, as Milton will start 1st and 10 in Danville territory on their 45-yard line. There's a handoff up the middle. And that'll go for big yardage, as I think that was Delsite. Handed off to the first back through the up back, and that
26, yep.
And that is a big gainer, and they will move the sticks one more time, so the infantry keeps the ball on the ground and pounds it up in there.
Good blocking by this young line too.
Out of the wishbone again. Wide to the right, handoff to Erb. He's across the 25, down to the 23.
Yeah, he just followed. He just gets on that right hip of Zachary Dietrich, who Dietrich pulls out and goes around that right end. He gets on that outside hip and follows Dietrich.
This is the first time that I've been to the Milton's Alumni Field this year, and certainly want to thank everybody for the numbers on the field, the hash marks. It just makes it a really neat place to watch a game now. Receiver wide to the left. Light will roll.
He's running out of room though.
Yeah, tried to do a stiff arm there, but that wasn't happening.
Now that's tough for a right-handed quarterback. Of course, we've said this before, coming back to the left. You got to turn your shoulders to throw that ball, and he just didn't have the time to do so.
Steve Jeffries on that tackle, and it'll be 3rd now and about 12 as Light loses that, but he just could not get the corner turn.
Well, Jeffries made a really nice play. I mean, that was a bootleg. All the action going to the right, and Kevin comes back to the left, and Jeffries didn't bite on it. He stayed right there and got a good pursuit angle and ran light into the sideline.
On the near hash mark, look at that down line. 4 down line with a huge hole in the middle. And it's an option. It's pitched to Herb, and Herb is across the 25 down to the 23.
I tell you, Ben McConnell saved it. By grabbing back and getting the jersey and pulling him down, because McConnell's job looked to me as though he was supposed to take the quarterback, but he came off the quarterback and took the pitch back.
It's 4th and about 5. If Ben McConnell's grabbing your jersey, chances are you're going down.
Yeah, he's a rugged kid.
A big, strong boy for the Ironmen. This time the Danville line, defensive line, squeezes in. Herb in motion. It's a reverse. The Swagger. He's retreating, and he is going down by Adam Moser, as they didn't buy on that one. Moser takes him down, and they'll turn the ball over on downs. Danville will have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 28-yard line.
Trying a little bit of misdirection there, on a 4th down play. Trying to confuse the Danville Ironman defense, but Moser stayed home, played his position well, stayed home, made his reads, and ended up making the tackle.
1st and 10. Scott Burquette will lead the Ironmen one more time.
Now, do you go to shotgun down deep here?
Yes.
Yes, I guess they do. Now, I'll tell you what, they haven't fixed these centers here, these snaps. This could be interesting.
Oh, well, that's not fixed. He got a little room. He's going to step up. Oh, my gosh, he hits Moser at the 43-yard line. He takes a couple of steps back, but the forward progress will be down to the 42-yard line. It'll move the sticks. Boy, I tell you, Burquette just stepped up into the pocket.
That was beautiful. He just did a fantastic job there. In fact, I thought he was going to run the ball.
That's what I thought, too.
And at the last second, he decided, no, I can get it off. And he made a nice delivery to Moser there.
And Moser able to get the 1st down. They'll spot the ball just over the 41-yard line at the 42. And we've got 4 minutes and 25 seconds in the 1st half. This time, Burquette under center. A handoff goes up the middle. That's the first time we've seen a run, and it'll get about 3 yards on that.
Yeah, I guess you could see why they go to shotgun, and they throw the ball quite a bit. Danville's running game,
Fernandez on that carry,
has not been as successful as I'm sure Coach Wynn would like. Ben McConnell at 53 carries for 283 yards and 3 TDs. And Adam Moser, 29 carries and 251 yards and 2 TDs coming into the game.
Here he's 2nd and 9. Clock is moving at 4 minutes. Moser in motion. Burquette takes 1 step, 2 step. That was a timing, trying to hit McConnell. McConnell wasn't even in the right position. He didn't had his back turned to him yet.
I don't exactly know what the quarterback's reading there. It looked to me as though McConnell had a guy over him. Maybe he should have been trying to hit the outside receiver. I don't know how they run that pattern, but McConnell was not open.
It brings up a 3rd down, and they'd like to get the ball just over the midfield stripe to move these sticks. You can imagine there'll be a pass here as Burquette will go out of the shotgun once again. No surprise there. And he's going to pitch it to McConnell. He steps up at the 40, and he is going to get about 2 yards on it down to the 45.
They pitch that out to McConnell, but there's 4 Milton defenders waiting right there for him. And I don't see where they're getting any advantage out of that.
And it looks like Aston White will be coming out as soon as they locate him. I don't think White's on the field, therefore Danville's got to call the timeout. They didn't have the right personnel out on the field. Hodish had to come out. A little bit of confusion
going on here. Yeah,
it's a hold of 1. He can drive this one back. Andino will be standing on the 22-yard line, his own 22-yard line. Good snap, no pressure. Milton's got the return on. High kick, and Dino takes it at the 25. Moser bypasses him.
Oh, the ball's down. I think he might have
it.
got it back.
On the 36-yard line, Milton puts the ball on the ground again as Andino got hit there. Good job of running around Adam Moser. That'll be 1st and 10 Black Panthers.
Yeah, I thought he had a chance to break in that, but somebody got their paw in on the ball and knocked it loose. Well, 3 minutes to go. Let's see what Milton does here. Gonna try to get something on the board before half. I don't think they'll go away from what they've intended to do, is running the ball.
Urban motion, handoff goes up the middle. Ooh, well, I tell you, a host of Danville Ironmen in on that tackle.
I think that was Delsite carrying the ball.
Yeah, Delsite 26 gets up at the bottom of that pile.
And there was everybody, I think, was on that, in on that tackle.
Not too many carries for, or yards for Delsite for the up back. Had 135 yards, 36 carries. Second and 7, 2:27 to go here in the first half. Danville up by a point. Again, another handoff up the middle, keeping the ball in the middle of the field.
I think
Charlie Johnson on that one.
You had made a comment last possession, Milton's possession, that you thought Danville's defense was tightening up there, and it does look like the defensive line is tightening up a little bit here, not giving up as much.
Delsite brings the play into Kevin Light. And it really, seriously, you take a look at that Danville line, and those are guys smaller than me. I mean, they have got some quickness out there, not very big giants. The handoff goes the other way. Light,
oh, he got it to him, too.
Oh, man, there's a decleated pancake, but it's a first down. Man, I thought that baby was going to be intercepted.
That was, what do I, if I was a coach, man, my heart would have been up in my throat on that play, because that's not the way to pitch that ball.
And they will move the sticks on that one. It's just across the midfield stripe. 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line.
He got away with one there. I'll tell you, if I was Danville coaching staff, I'd like to see him do that more often, because sooner or later, that baby's going to be on the ground.
Swigert in motion. Handoff goes the misdirection the other side. That may be Delsite. Nope.
That's Herb.
That's Herb. He is down to the 43-yard line, where it is 2nd and 7, and the Black Panthers will call timeout.
No. Danville is having trouble with the misdirection plays.
And Milton runs that so well.
Yes, they do. And they're taking off and going with the first fake. And they're
2nd and a few. Light back the pass. He's going right down the middle. And it hits Swigert in a bad place.
Mike Swigert was ready to run. He was ready. He's turned his head. He was ready to run, and he's got to wait to catch that ball first.
Hit him right smack dab in the hands, and like you said, Ted, looked like he was waiting
I'll tell
turn
you,
around.
That ball was right there, though. I mean, it was right on the numbers. And he had time to catch it and turn upfield, but he wanted to get there sooner.
Well, I'll tell you, Light is probably one of the most accurate quarterbacks you're going to see when it comes to throwing the ball, even as a sophomore. 57 seconds. They'll spread receivers wide to the left. Swigert in motion. Light's got the ball. He's going to turn it up. He's across the 40, and it's a first down. Down to the 38-yard line. First down. They'll stop the clock to move the chain, and they'll wind it. When they get it set, there you see him wind it. Well, you didn't see it. I saw him wind it.
They've got to get things moving here if they want to get in for the half.
Light back to pass, straight drop. It's going deep, 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 deep. Oh! That ball was intended
right.
for Mark Erb.
And that was right there. He put that ball right on the hands. It could have been caught. It's a tough catch to make when you're at full stride, but he put the ball right there.
Adam Moser on the defense. He had his hands on the ball, too. It is now 2nd and 10. The clock will stop with 35 seconds to go. Going to see another pass here?
Oh, I think you'll continue to see passes here, yeah.
They've got to get down to the 28-yard line. There you see Moser, number 20, one of the corners. He'll be on Andino wide. Swaggart in motion. Light back. He's rolling, rolling, rolling. Oh, now that one hit Moser in the hand. Moser was on his way down.
Moser had to come back to his left, but I thought Moser was in position to intercept that.
It'll be 3rd and 10. As that play took 4 seconds, it's 31 seconds left on the clock.
Danville's trying to find ways to put pressure on Light. They've been bringing a middle linebacker. They've been bringing guys from the outside, but Milton's pass blocking has been sufficient.
Kyle Alexander, you see him 5'5", 185 pounds in the middle of that line.
And you know, he's busting his tail every play, but he's gone up against guys that are much bigger than him.
There's a bobble.
There you got some pressure on. He had to throw it away.
That was dangerously close to a hold there.
You had Joel Hummer
and Earlston in there. I'll tell you, that was dangerously close to a hold. It's 4th and 10. 24 ticks left on the clock. And it looks like they'll be punting that puppy out of here.
They must be.
As Light went down on that one. Punting team in. Moser deep.
They're going with the fake. I thought maybe they would try a fake.
Oh my gosh, it's a hook and ladder, and it's a 1st down. Boy, Swaggart got his teeth
I'll tell you,
rattled.
he got leveled, but right when he was about ready to get leveled, he pitched that ball to Herb for the 1st down. Again,
that had to be the hardest hit I've seen this year.
That was an extremely tricky pitch, too.
The hook and ladder works to perfection as it moves the sticks. 17 seconds to go. Oh my gosh, Ted, that was a hit.
Yep.
My teeth ache up here.
Yeah, his teeth rattled on that baby.
Light back, 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 back. He's going down the middle and he throws it away.
Nobody. Nope.
Not exactly sure what the fans are yelling about.
No, that wasn't. They're yelling for pass interference. I think they do that on every pass, but there was no interference in that play.
As the Ironmen are holding tight here, they almost got caught on that hook and ladder for the big play, but Milton able to get the 1st down. Move the change, they'll send Andino wide to the right. Official coming out as they are going to change the ball. Not liking that ball, they'll put a new one down. Fresh pigskin.
Fresh pigskin. Fresh porky.
Single setback. Light is back. Back. He's got looking for Swaggart. He's open. And he overthrows him. Closest one to that is Ryan Sanders. Throwing down the field. They'll get another crack at it. It is 3rd and 10 with 8 seconds left. They may have. He's got to go to the end zone right here, Ted, because if he completes it any place else, they'll run out of time.
Right. And the only thing they could do is throw to the short side of the field here and get out of bounds. Maybe get one more play.
Black Panthers looking for the score here, working this last couple of seconds. Short side of the field is to our side. Send Erb in motion. Light is being pursued. He's not seeing it, and down he goes. Good tackle by Mike Hunter. As the pursuit came, he never saw it. And
Did they get the timeout? And wait a minute.
Let's see. They're saying 1 second, and the officials are sending everybody into the locker room.
Oh, baby, this is going to cause Max to be upset. I'll tell you, Danville's doing the right thing, man. Get off the field quick. Get the band coming on. Get the team off. Look at them. They're running.
That's it.
They know. They know there was 1 second left. Hey,
it's over. They're done.
I would have done the same thing.
Officials out there, we can't hear them yet.
Listen,
but
when you look at the clock, there's no time on the clock. That's it.
And that's what they're going to say. And there you can see Coach Snyder is not going to get his way on that one. And they run off. Mike Berge out there, he's the big guy in the shorts. They're not liking that either. And the Milton crowd's not liking it. But anyway, the Danville Ironmen have a 1-point lead as Max, not very happy, walking off. It is Danville 7, Milton 6. We'll have second half action and some stats when we return after this timeout.
Deer Hunters.
Wobbler, it'll be taken by McConnell to 20, 25. He's at the 30. He gets hit once. Good tackle there by number 31, Dupre Johnson. Nice open field tackle, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Danville Ironmen on their own 31-yard line. Are they going to make some adjustments? I wonder if they took a couple of practice snaps.
No, that definitely had me worried. You know, and I'm sitting up here. It's not going to affect me when I go home tonight, but geez, if I was a coach, I'd definitely be worried if one of those is going to go over our head. Well, he's coming up under center.
And they're out of the eye now. Receivers wide to the right and to the left. Send Moser in motion. Handoff. No, it's going to be a pass. Burquette looking deep. He's got Ryan Sanders for the first down at the 44-yard line. And Burquette comes out firing.
He's coming out firing, and he had Zachary Dietrich in his face right away.
Well, you take a look at the area football player, Scott Burquette, 78 completions out of 140 attempts, 4 interceptions for 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns. Adam Moser, his favorite target, 39 receptions for 627 yards. So they changed the offense a little bit. Burquette back. And that one, there was like nobody there. What was the deal? Nobody.
Well, yeah, I don't know if that was like a quarterback read pattern, you know, and they were not on the same page because the receiver did an in and the quarterback threw an out.
Is that like, do you have an innie or an outie?
That doesn't work when you're looking, you know.
He's doing an innie
to do an in and they do an out. It's not going to be a hookup.
2nd and 10. Burquette back. He's got Moser at the 50 and he's knocked down.
Okay, so he's taking a 3-step drop. That's what I've seen, you know, so far. The start of this second half, they're not doing the 5 or they're not going back in shotgun. He's taking a 3-step drop and getting rid of the ball quick. And that's an adjustment they've made because in the first half he was getting pounded.
Big pursuit from the Black Panthers early in the first half. Now Burquette is just, like you said, taking a short drop and firing away. It's 3rd and 4 on the 50. They need to get to the 45. They'll send Moser in motion. He'll turn. They'll sprint him out. He's got time.
Oh, that ball got away from.
Oh, and he got Moser down to the 31-yard line. He got away from him.
I thought the ball got away from him, but I didn't see Moser coming up the sideline there. I was looking at the guy doing the post, and I think, oh, man, that ball got away from him. Nice pass.
It got away from him all right.
Right to the right receiver.
Adam Moser comes up with a big play. And it is now 1st and 10 as Danville looks like a different team here.
Well, they've obviously made some changes. Let's see, they're not going out with 4 receivers out. They're keeping guys in the block. They're keeping their backs in the block.
They are. And it's hit Moser again at the 25. He reverses field. He's still on his feet. He's down to the 20, and he'll be knocked down right at the 20.
He dropped the ball. He dropped the ball, and Milton got it.
He puts the ball on the ground, reversing fields, and the Black Panthers come up with it.
And Zachary Dietrich comes up with the fumble recovery.
a good drive stymied by the fumble. And both teams now have lost. It's 1st and 10 for Milton on their own 24-yard line. This may be the break that the Panthers need.
It's a big play. You're right. You know, Danville started the second half. They obviously made some changes. They're moving the ball downfield. The ball gets put on the ground, and Milton see if they can take advantage of it.
1st and 10. We're just underway in the second half. 7-6. Danville leads. 10:27 to go. Handoff goes up the middle. Still on his feet. Down to the 31-yard line. As Delsite carries the ball.
Yeah, they've been able to get good yardage in between the tackles against Danville, and I don't see Max going away from that. You're going to come back with misdirection and pound it right at him.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Here comes a blitz, low pressure, and that's Charlie Johnson, and he'll get not much on that. Let's see if they even move the stick. They need to go about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards, and they won't even move this. They won't even move the stick.
No,
he got no gain on that at all.
So it's a 3rd and 2, and it's early in the third quarter, but still, for a momentum change, this is a big play for the Black Panthers here.
Andrew Smith into the game. He is a senior for the Black Panthers. 3rd and a couple. Handoff. Not much there for Ben McConnell.
McConnell made a nice stick on Herb, I think that was. So Milton's going to have to punt the ball away.
So Danville comes up with a big defensive play there and makes Milton go 3 and out, and they'll get the ball back once again. They'll send Ryan Sanders and Adam Moser back deep.
I don't think you'll see a fake punt here, Bob. I think you'll see a punt. I think they'll definitely punt it away.
Well, they lost a couple on that, and it was 3rd and 2 maybe. Now it's 4th and about 4. And the kick is up. Look at Andino, the gunner. It's going to take one hop and out of bounds. I always wondered why more high schools don't have the gunners on the outside. You know what I mean? A lot of them just keep everybody in tight.
Well, I think their main emphasis is making sure they get the punt off. When you take a gunner outside, granted you got to take a corner out there with them, but your angle is better to the punter at that point.
It's 1st and 10 for the Ironmen. They've got it on their own 39-yard line. They were able to move the ball very easily in their first drive. Moser in motion. Burquette, 1, 2, 3, and fire. He's got Moser, hit him right in the hands. A little high to the outside.
Little high, but they're keeping that fullback and tailback in now to block for him.
Well, that's exactly what they needed to do, Ted. I mean, they had the adjustment made at halftime because when they had the single setback in there and Burquette back at the shotgun, he was being pressured and hurried virtually, well, without the snap going over his head on every play.
Right.
2nd and 10. 8:20 here in the third. Skinny 1-point lead for the Ironmen on a fumble recovery and a touchdown. And there goes the handoff to the second back through. I believe that's McConnell, and he'll get a yard.
Maybe, yeah. See, they just don't have the running game to complement this passing game, and that hurts because you can't even set up play action passes.
Brings up 3rd and a long 8.
Now they're going to come back to shotgun. Now you're Milton. You pin your ears back and you go after him, buddy.
4 receivers. Good snap that time.
Good
He's got a
swing.
pressure. He's running. He throws it. He's got Moser, and it's a first down. Great catch, Moser laid down.
He made a great catch there because that ball was thrown behind him, and he had to reach back for it.
Well, that's the only way I think that Burquette's going to be able to go out of the shotgun is he's going to have to sprint out wide to the right or the left. run for his life. There you see Moser, number 20, a 6 foot, 175-pound senior doing a yeoman's job all over the field. Out of the gun one more time. It's 1st and 10. Good snap there, little pressure. He's got him deep.
Oh, McConnell didn't see the ball. He never saw the ball, no.
You're right.
He picked it up late.
Yep, you are absolutely right, Ted. McConnell had a step on his man.
But he just couldn't locate the ball.
Trent Beaver down there. Another sophomore, as the sophomores really doing a big job. Was that a no huddle?
Yeah, they're coming at it. They're coming at it in a no huddle. They're getting the call to play from the sideline.
Burquette out of the gun one more time. It's 3rd. That snap a little low. He's going deep, 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 deep. He's got Moser wide open. Oh, what a great defensive play.
I'll tell you, Kevin Light just broke on that ball and made up ground quickly. Of course, the ball hung there a little bit.
Yep, absolutely.
But still, Kevin Light made a nice play on that ball.
Moser was just waiting there. He almost stopped to get the ball.
It was delivered a little bit late. He could have delivered it earlier and had a better chance of completing that pass.
Burquette calls a timeout. So the Ironmen will take the timeout. Coach Wynn comes out. Jeremy Wynn, his first-year coach.
Losses to Shikellamy and Mifflinburg, and I told you I'd seen them play the Mifflinburg game, and they were winning most of the game, but I think got worn down in the end. Then we saw them play Wyalusing, or maybe it was Carl and I saw them play Wyalusing, and they handled Wyalusing easily. They beat Jersey Shore 7-6, and last week they handled Montoursville rather easily, 34-14. But their schedule does not get easier after this game. They have Central Columbia, Mount Carmel, and Southern Columbia. On the other hand, the Black Panthers got off to a rough start with Bald Eagle area. They beat Warrior Run. But you look at the remainder of their schedule, they have Jersey Shore, Mifflinburg, and Montoursville, 3 games that they could win.
Ironman will go 3rd and 10. Moser in motion out of the I. Burquette is back. They're dropping everybody. Uh-oh, that's overthrown. But I tell you, Swigert had a pretty good swipe at it.
Right. But there again, I think the ball is just being delivered a hair late.
And they'll punt here.
Yeah.
With the ball on the 47-yard line. They'll punt it out, see if White can pooch it.
Punt it, get it down there deep, see what happens. Remember, Andino fumbled one of these, didn't he? But recovered it himself.
Yep.
Yes, he did. Oh.
And no pressure.
Oh, beautiful.
As the return is
beautiful punt.
High. Takes one hop and it will
goes into the end zone. Boy, that was a beautiful punt.
I definitely think White is the best punter that we've seen.
Yes.
Well, it'll be 1st and 10 on the 20 for the Black Panthers. They are in a 1-point deficit here. They had a touchdown, and it did not help them that they missed the extra point.
No.
That's how they got 6.
Of course, Danville's touchdown didn't come via the offense. It came via the defense.
It is 1st and 10. Swigert in motion. He's got the ball, turns the corner, across the 30. He's down to the 41-yard line. As soon as he turned that corner, Ted, he was gone.
Yeah, but we got a penalty flag on the far side. We're probably going to have a hold. Yep, that's what it is. And that holding penalty, of course, conjures up all sorts of...
Here you're going to hear
all sorts of comments from the
offense. Still 1st down.
From the fans here. They're not too appreciative of that.
Milton has come into tonight's game scoring 65 points, and only 3 of those points have been extra points. One point after kick, 1, and 1 2-point conversion.
That's why that ball went sailing to the left and high, I guess.
It is first down and 10. Swigert in motion. It's a quick pitch pass to him. Good pursuit. And a
Very
ankle
good
tackle. Moser was down there.
Moser was there.
As
along
well
with,
as Mike Hunter.
Yep, Mike Hunter made a nice play, closing in on Swigert real quick. And you got to close in on Swigert quick.
Oh,
You
because
give
he
him-
turns that
He can
corner.
take off,
He's
man.
going.
He's got the speed to break it.
And it's a 2nd and 11 situation here, as the Black Panthers had a huge gain wiped out by the penalty on the holding call. 6:18 to go. Taking it a little long here to get the play going.
This doesn't look good. I don't know. They're going to get it off in time. Well, they're hustling up to the line.
Well, there's the official back judge
judge
put his hand
hands
up.
up.
They may not get this thing off. Oh, just barely. And there goes Herb. Good tackle by McConnell. He'll gain a couple on that.
Now, that misdirection is hard to defense because you have Travis Delsite coming to the left and Herb coming back to the right, and you got Swigert going to the left. You get caught up in the action in the backfield, you're going to lose track of where the ball is, and that's what this offense is built on.
You know, both you and I thought that this was going to be a good game, but as we talked at halftime, we thought there'd be more points on the board.
Right. I thought there'd be more points. I thought Milton would score via the ground and Danville would score in the air.
Oh, Lights got Andino wide open. Oh, what a great play by Moser as he was beat.
He was beaten, and I think there again we saw a quarterback who just held the ball just a hair too long. You know, you don't have to wait until he's beat. You throw that ball sooner and let him run under it. And this ball was underthrown, and Moser was able to get back there and get his hand up on the ball.
And Dino had to turn around, come back on it, and Moser was able to close in a hurry.
Right. And I think as Kevin Light gets older, he'll realize that. He's got to throw that and let that receiver run under it.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, Ted and I will be picking the CCM players of the game, one for each team. Back deep is Moser. Swigert is going to punt it. A little bit of pressure. It allows Moser to get it on the 45. He's crossed the 40. Still going down to the 39-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 on the 39-yard line. Good field position for the Ironmen as they are looking to get that passing attack fired back up again and poke it in.
You look at this third quarter, Danville has had the best field position. Milton hasn't been able to get past, I don't think they've been past the 50-yard line this third quarter.
Well, 5:12 left here in the third. We've had 2 touchdowns, one by the defense, one by the offense.
Oh.
The difference is a point after. Here it is, the shotgun.
They're back to shotgun.
He steps up into the pocket. Uh-oh, he heaves it. Oh,
it's over.
Looking for McConnell, and it was overthrown at the 2.
He definitely threw that ball down there a long way, but just over the outstretched arms of McConnell.
And there you see Ben McConnell. He's only a sophomore, I think, too.
I have it right here. Ben is a junior.
He's a junior. Well, they're certainly not afraid to, heave the ball.
Yep.
It is 2nd and 10. Out of the gun one more time. They got Fernandez in the backfield. He is the protection. He throws. Oh, and it's intercepted?
I think it is. I think it was right through Sanders' hands and it's intercepted by, was that by Swigert?
22.
Or is it somebody else?
23. Charlie Johnson. Trent Beaver. I'll just keep saying names so I get it right. There was Trent Beaver, number 23. And a turnover as Burquette throws his 5th interception of the year. It's 1st and 10. Milton, 4:59 to go. Ball on the 27-yard line. Swigert in motion. A misdirection up the middle. I believe that's Delsite.
I think it's Delsite, I believe. 26.
Delsite gets another carry. He'll get a couple on that. It'll be, well, he got a lot more than what I thought. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Picks up 7 on that. Delsite will come out, get a break. Ironmen trying to hold tight here. They've done a good job 3 and out a couple of times for the Ironmen. Need one here. Swigert in motion.
Swigert with the ball, round
Turns
right
the corner
in.
across the 40, down to the 40.
What did you say, about 3 maybe?
43.
Picks up the first down.
But it will move the sticks. Yeah, you've got to string it out against Swigert because he is just going to fire up the sideline.
Herb and Delsite back in. Johnson and Von Blon out.
Ball with the Milton 42.
It is 1st and 10 now for the Black Panthers. Herb in motion, handoff up the middle to Delsite again. He'll only get a couple on that, just past the line of scrimmage. 4:07 to go tonight in the 3rd quarter.
Brandon Earlston doing a nice job in there. You know, he's 5'8", 155 pounds. He's given up a lot of size, but that kid plays with a big heart. He made that tackle there on, I think it was on Delsite, and you got to give that kid credit. He's playing. He's given up a lot of size in there, but he's given it his best.
2nd and 8. Out of the wishbone. Receiver spread wide. Danville showing blitz. They'll pound it up the middle. Herb turns the corner, and he'll be down to the 49-yard line. And he'll get a couple on that.
Corey Durr. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the
Gotta look
Kyle Ale with that. A sophomore made that tackle. Got 3rd and short, Bob.
Big play here for both teams. Danville holds here. They would get a punt in decent field position. Milton still looking to put together a drive here in the 3rd quarter. 2:57. Crowd in the middle. And it's going to be a keeper. Light is not going to get the first down.
He didn't get the first down.
He didn't even get to the 50. He only gained about 4 inches on that.
Yep.
Hole closed up in a hurry.
Yes, it did. And it was probably a situation where he probably should have pitched that. I think Swigert wanted the ball. So Milton once again has to punt, and they have yet to get across the 50-yard line in the 2nd half.
Back deep is Moser. Swigert to punt. Are you going to see a fake here? Possibly. No? No?
I don't think.
Oh,
geez.
Oh, it's straight up in the air.
Bad punt, too.
Oh, it hits Colleen Ernst's stand down
Almost.
there.
I'll tell you, Colleen almost took one for the team.
It blinked right off of her stand. It's like Carl and I doing a soccer game the other day. A couple of them, you know, Carl didn't even attempt to field the ball. He was bailing out.
Oh, really?
I stuck my hand out, but, you know, he was bailing.
That punt, I think, if you look at it, Bob, I think it was 2 yards.
I was just going to resist the 2 yards. Line of scrimmage was at 49, and now it's on the other 49.
Yep.
You're absolutely right. 1st and 10 for the Ironmen. Out of the eye once again. And it will be a pass.
Good protection. Good protection. He's
Oh,
got a
my
guy
gosh, look at
wide
McConnell.
open.
And he is going to get the ball in the 20, 15, 5, 10. Touchdown, Ben McConnell.
He was wide open.
Wide open, blown coverage.
He had plenty of time to throw that ball. Pete Wonderland pulled and blocked to the play side. And he just had plenty of time to throw that ball. McConnell, where was the defense? McConnell was wide open on a post pattern.
And as soon as he caught it, he put a little bit of move on, and the defender went down, and it was a touchdown. Mark Hummel to tee it up one more time for the point after. A freshman. The kick is up, and that baby is good. It is now 14 for Danville and 6 for the Black Panthers. Stay with us. We'll have a minute 54 seconds in the 3rd quarter when we return after this timeout.
you love the Friday Night Lights? If you do, then you'll want to unleash the Blitz every Thursday night at 7 and Friday at 1 on CCN. Tune in to hear talk with area coaches and players. Catch highlights of last week's games and get a preview of this week's key matchups, all on your community cable network. Come be a part of our audience at the Watson Inn's East Room with taping taking place every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Enjoy some wings and pigskin talk. The Blitz, your high school football show, exclusively right here on CCN CATV Channel 8.
When the sun goes down, the real action heats up. College football, under the lights, in prime time, on TBS Superstation. Every week, the best teams in football face off in the last big game of the night. Because the day isn't over till this scores in. College football, games worth waiting for, all this season, as part of Big PlayStation Saturday on TBS Superstation.
Milton has got a couple of men deep. The kick is coming from Travis Miller as Danville would have put another 7 on the board. It's kind of a low liner. Taken by Swaggart. He's across the 20, 25, across the 30, up in the middle, still going and knocked down at the 36-yard line, 37-yard line.
And I think you take a chance kicking to that kid.
It'll be first down. Milton will have a minute 48 to work with before they change sides of the field.
I would think Max is going to have to start
airing it out?
Well, no. You still don't want to go away from the running game, but I think a play action pass here and there.
Herb, not much there. As a matter of fact, he'll lose a yard.
Good pursuit by the Danville defense. There was a seam, but it was coming back this way towards the Milton bench, and Mark didn't see that seam. Johnny Hartley coming off. Looks like he's maybe limping a little bit.
It is 2nd and 10. There's a sweep. Swaggart across the 40. Man.
Nice tackle by
Moser
with a nice tackle. I'll tell you, Milton had the student body coming around that left end.
Man, they had the sweep going, didn't they?
And Moser found a seam in there and got in there and made the tackle kept Swaggart from really going all the way. I think he could have broke that one.
They had the big bodies going on the other side. Johnson back into the game now. Out goes Andino. Let's see, they're not going to spread anybody out. Everybody in tight. There's that formation again.
Swiggart's going to get the ball going back to the right side. Yep, right there. Or not Swaggart, Herb.
Herb, he's across he's got the corner turned across the 45 down to the 46, maybe 47. It'll bring up a 4th down, though. You got to punt it out of there?
It's short. It's third quarter. Yeah. You punt it down here, and you hope you get it deep, and you hope that Danville makes a mistake. I don't think you have to go for it yet.
Well, Light's back into the game.
He's probably going to go for it, and he'll probably get the first down and, go down and score, and then I'll be a jerk. But
yeah, but if you don't make it, you get good field position if you're the Ironmen. Out of the wishbone and a timeout.
Now Max might be having second thoughts on this. We'll see.
Each team has used the timeout here in the third quarter, and we've got 5 seconds left. Maybe they took a look at it, Ted, and
see what the defense was going to give them, then decided to make a punt.
Well, now Andino will come off, Kevin Light will come off, and I believe they probably will make the punt here.
Right.
There you take a look at the Ironmen huddle.
And I think this is the right play. You want to pin Danville deeper in their territory, and hopefully you can get a turnover. You got to rely on your defense. Yes, Danville has thrown the ball better this second half, but they're ahead now. Are they going to continue to throw? No, they're going to want to run the ball and run clock, but they're not able to run the ball.
Well, that's the point.
Okay, so if they keep on throwing, So you force some incompletions and you stop the clock. Well, that's to your benefit.
There's the rainbow we just had on the TV. Max Snyder coming off, as they will now be in punt formation. The last snap was bobbled, and the punt went 2 yards. Let's see what happens here.
You're not going to fake it? You going to fake it, Bob?
Milton got the gunner.
Oh,
and that
no,
one's
he dropped
bobbled
it again,
too.
but he got it off.
It's going to take one hit right on the 25-yard line. Still in motion down to the 15,
Okay.
and it'll be down at the 15-yard line.
And that's good.
And we have ended the third quarter. It is the Ironmen 14 and the Black Panthers 6. Stay with us. We'll have the final 12 after this timeout.
It was the biggest race of the year. And no matter what, I was going to win.
See Danville's coach Jeremy Wynn and his staff as the Ironmen will take over on the 15-yard line. Big defensive series here for the Black Panthers as they'd like to keep Danville pinned down there. McConnell in motion. Burquette gives to Moser. And he'll get a couple on that.
Well, this is what Danville's going to want to do, you know, especially deep in your territory. You don't want to turn the ball over down there. If Milton's going to score, you want them to have to drive the whole field to score. So you want to get something going here, and if it's stopped, you want to get a punt away. But by throwing the ball here, I know there's a good chance of the ball being tipped or whatever, an interception.
There already was one interception.
Then Milton's, then they got a short field to work with.
It is 2nd and 6. That's probably the longest rush that they've had all night. 4 yards. Burquette is back to pass. He hits McConnell close to the first down.
That's going to bring up a 3rd and short.
Let's see where they're marking it about at the 2 yards.
Yeah, it's about 3rd and 2, I'd say. Yeah. So what do you do here? You know, they don't have a great running game. You said it just a second ago. You know, you think their best run was 4 yards. You throw the ball here for first down?
No. Yes.
No or yes?
No, yes. Brandon Peeler is wide to the left, and there's the rush. Boo, I tell you, that's close.
Yeah, I think he's got it.
On the far side of the field. And a rushing first down?
Yes, first down. Okay, so and I think that's what Coach Wynn obviously wants to do. Maybe he might have to sprinkle in a couple out patterns or a 3-step drop, hook patterns or whatever, hitch patterns, something to get a little yardage to help his running game along.
First and 10. Ball on about the 26-yard line. Oh my gosh, did he even get the hand
I'll tell you what,
off?
he was lucky to get that
And it's
handoff.
still going, but the ball is, I was looking at Burquette on the ground.
Me too. I think there was a guy on his back when he handed that ball off.
Good grief, man.
And he's limping. Burquette's limping a little bit.
How did he even make that hand? Oh, he's a little bit. He's limping a lot of it.
A lot of it. He's like...
they may get him out of there.
He's got like a Charlie horse, I think.
Peeler comes in. I hope they don't sprint him to the outside on this play.
No, I don't think. I think he'll give him a time to recover. I think this is a hand off the ball.
We got Fernandez in the backfield as well as McConnell. Oh, he's going to pass it.
He's going to throw the ball. Oh, Moser almost with it.
One-handed. Well, they send him wide, but it'll be 3rd and 2.
I don't know if I would have done that on second down there. I think I would have run the ball again. I know. I just think I would have ran that ball. He was definitely hobbling there. But he knows his players better than I do. He knows what they can do.
Walk it off. Walk it off. Third and a couple. 9:47 left in the game. 14-6 is the score. Coming up the middle. Oh my gosh.
He was met. He was met head on by, I think that's, I'm trying to get that number there. 54.
Kevin Benage.
Kevin Benage, a promising sophomore. 6'2", 258-pound sophomore.
Fourth
and 1. They've got to punt it.
Oh yeah.
No, they're gonna measure first, but
McConnell, or excuse me, Burquette trying to work that right knee out.
4th down. Now see.
Oh man, it is like 3 inches.
You go back to that second down call where they threw that square out here. You know, you got two downs to get 2 yards. You get a first down and keep the clock running.
Are you punting?
Oh, I'm punting here, yes.
Is Aston White on the field?
You're punting here, you're winning the game. Milton has to score 8 points to tie it. You know, you punt it out. Make them go. What yard line are they on there? The 36-yard line, 37-yard line, okay. Oh, you let Milton go 37 yards for a touchdown, or do you punt them out and make them go 70-some yards?
Dude, they're going for it.
I know they're going for it. Hey.
Quarterback sneak on 1.
No,
Ready,
I think
break.
he's going to try to draw them off, and then they're going to call timeout and punt it.
No, you're calling the hard count. See if we got a head bob. Oh, there was a quick head bob. There's a quick head bob. Another one. There's another one.
Nope.
And they call timeout.
What did I tell you, huh? What did I tell you?
Way to go, Coach. That's their second timeout of the second half.
Coach Berge going out with the defense. I'll tell you, Coach Berge, he could play this game a little bit. Looks like
yes,
he's been putting away the pork chops there, hasn't he? I think he's been going out with that Food Eating Club of America or whatever he's joined there in the Milton faculty. I think he's been eating out too much.
As you can remember, a standout tight end for the Black Panthers. His other end is up in the coaching booth. Kurt Zettelmoyer, the quarterback at that time. He's an assistant coach. There you see Mike telling the defense to suck it up here and what to do. You know, Milton's one of the school districts that get a lot of hometown people back to teach.
Yeah, they do. They do, and Mike was a good acquisition there. Mike, student taught under me. I had him as a student teacher, and he is a good teacher, good person.
Aston White back to punt it on out of there. Good snap, little pressure, not much.
I'll tell you,
that's a monster punt.
This kid can kick him. Yes, he can.
Andino back to the 25. He reverses field, and he'll be
great coverage. Moser
Rolando
made great
Fernandez.
Coverage. Rolando down there. Moser with the good coverage.
I tell you, that's what those high punts do.
That's right.
It allows your defense to get down there and make that that tackle, which they did. Milton's going to have about 73 yards to work with here, and they've got 9 minutes to do it.
It's a heck of a lot better than 31 yards if you're Danville.
Oh, dude, quarterback sneak, man. They could have got it. 1st and 10. Light back to pass. He's got Andino and just broken up. Well, I'll tell you what, Ryan Sanders got a hand in there. Andino had a step.
And Ryan Olaf almost came up with a deflection there on an interception. He almost was able to intercept that ball.
Olaf also in there, double coverage. Light had all day to make that pass. And again, it was right on the money.
you look at the first half stats and all the ground or yardage that Milton had on the ground, Danville has made an adjustment in the second half. And I've got to credit their coaching staff for making the adjustment to close down Milton's running game.
2nd and 10. Swaggart in motion. Sprints out light to the left. He fires, and it's almost intercepted by Mike Hunter. Bring up a 3rd and 10. I don't know if he saw Hunter on that one.
No, I don't think he did either, because he threw right to him.
3rd and 10. Are you going with another pass here? Or are you going to try to get Swaggart to the outside?
No. 3rd down, I think you passed the ball here.
Make the call, Coach.
You're passing the ball.
Sprinting him out?
I'll definitely sprint him out, because he's got the option to pass or run the ball. And I might do that. A sprint draw.
3rd and 10, 8:49. 8-point lead for the Ironmen. Timeout. And I think that's their second timeout.
Max didn't like the call, I guess. At the last second, he wants to change the play call.
Travis Delsite made the timeout, and he goes right to Light.
Oh, I see. Max is telling him that the back judge had his hand up.
Oh, and they were
so they're ready to get a penalty.
In high school football, you don't have the 25-second clock.
No.
So you have to depend on the back judge. When he puts his hand up, you've only got a couple, 5 seconds left?
Yeah, and when the ball is put in play, the ball's put in the ground, it's placed where the center's going to snap it from. The whistle will blow. Okay, start the clock. Or they have 25 seconds from that point to run their play.
And you'll see that when a team is trying to burn time, that the quarterback will wait until the back judge has got his hand up,
right,
and then snap it.
Right. Use as much time as you can.
And there he's got his hand up, saying that the doggone timeout is over. Let's get it on. It is 3rd and 10. Swaggart in motion. Sprint him out.
They got pressure, I'll tell you. There's no way. He's sprinting to his left, but he's getting outside pressure. At number 55, he has played a whale of a game today.
Brandon Earlston?
Brandon Earlston is really hustling. And he was out there, I don't know if I think he came from his inside position and looped outside, and he was running Kevin Light down out there in the flat. Kevin couldn't turn his shoulders in order to get the ball away.
It'll be 4th down now, and Milton will be punting it out of there. A couple of bobbled snaps. That one almost bobbled again. There's
a nice punt. Whoa.
Moser will let it bounce, and it takes a straight up and down bounce. Oh, it'll be down on the 27-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Ironmen on the 27. Milton needs a big defensive stand here.
You're right. They need a big defensive stand, and what Danville needs to do is control the ball. They need to eat up the clock, get a couple first downs. We'll see who's capable of doing what.
I tell you, the Danville side has got these stands jammed. Both bands played tonight very, very well. It was an excellent exhibition on both sides. Moser in motion. Burquette. It's a draw to McConnell, and he is just gobbled up there.
He's gobbled up. Big number 70. Well, it looked like a 71 to me, maybe?
I don't think so.
70. How about 5? Let's try that. Big number 75. Andrew Headley. 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 He wasn't being tricked on that draw play. There he is. Look at him, man. Look at that.
He got a big mitt on there.
Yeah,
he got an oven mitt. Tackled one-handed. 7:55. 2nd in a bunch. They'll try to run it. McConnell, he's going around. He turns the corner, and he's out to the 36. 6-yard line.
Good yardage.
That's the longest run from scrimmage.
Good yardage, but he went out of bounds.
And that means that the clock has stopped. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 3. So they had, I don't try to do the math, it was 15, and that's 3, so.
They got 12 yards on that, Bob.
Thanks, Ted.
That's good.
It's a good thing I don't add the halftime stats up, or we'd be in trouble.
You probably scored high on the English part of the SATs.
Oh, I was excellent.
Yeah, very.
That math board smoked me.
Me too, believe me too.
It's 3rd and about 4. That won't happen.
We're gonna have a delay game.
Back judge makes that call.
Man, how can you have that happen?
Now you're gonna have to try to pass it out of there. Got to be looking at the back judge. So the delay of the game costs them 5, and it's now 3rd and 8. 7:45, and they cling to an 8-point lead. Do the Ironmen. They shift a couple of people, running out of the slot. And handoff to McConnell up the middle, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and they'll punt it on out of there.
Well, when you have a weapon like Aston White punting the ball, you know, you don't want to take any chances down there. Number 58. 58 getting up, walking kind of groggily.
Groggily?
Is that a word, groggily? Matt Gertie? Matt Gertie is groggy.
White will come in to get it out of there.
You gotta be careful to snap on this play, you know? You gotta make sure you get it to him.
Andino is back at his own 40. Low snap, no pressure. It's a high punt. Calls for a fair catch on his own 38-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, Milton Black Panthers. They got 7 minutes to work with to try to get 8 points on the board to tie this thing up. If they get a touchdown, they cannot take the lead.
No, they got to go. They'd have to go for 2. They can tie it up. But I don't think you go right to passing the ball. Granted, you haven't been able to run real well this second half. But you just don't come out here and throw the ball 3 times. I think you got guys. Swigert obviously can take it coast to coast. You got to give him a shot here or there.
Well, they'll go with a single setback, and they go bombs away here. Little pressure, good play. And Dino was intended for him, broken up by Ryan Sanders.
Now that was they had run that play the last series of downs they had, and that was almost intercepted. Same result, yes. So if we stay true to form, he's going to roll out to the left the next 2 plays.
Interesting concept. It brings up a 2nd and 10. And Dino will be spread wide to the right. A couple of guys in the slot, single setback. Swigert in motion. Spreads out to the left.
Sprint to the left.
And he's going to get hammered. Oh, he doesn't get hammered, but he gets knocked out of bounds. Man, he's lucky. He sidestepped that one, and he tosses the ball down in disgust.
I'll tell you, the official could have flagged him on that right there. He spiked that ball into the ground. He's going back to get it. That's a young kid. He's getting frustrated. He picked the ball up and gave it back to the official, which is good. But he definitely could have been flagged on that.
And it is a loss of 5 on it.
You know, I just think misdirection with Herb or Swigert, you know, give him a chance on a misdirection play on a 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down and long. Now you got to come up with something. You're going to throw the ball. I don't think they'll roll to the left now.
I was just going to say, because they're on the short side of the field.
Now it's better to roll this way because he's right-handed. I'd rather him do it this way.
Herb in motion for protection, and he goes down. It's a sack.
71. Steve Crum, sophomore. getting in there and getting the sack on Kevin Light.
It is 4th and 20. That was an ugly series.
Well, they went to the pass totally again. You know, the second series in a row where they just went 3 and out by trying to pass the ball. I still like their misdirection offense with Swigert and Herb running the ball, and either of them could go all the way.
Left-footed kickoff. Herb.
It's a nice punt.
Moser drives him back. Oh, there's a block.
That's a clip. Yeah, that was. I can't believe that McConnell would even try that. He had to have known that was going to be a clip. Why do that? He should have just stayed away.
That's for sure. I think every fan in the stand saw that one.
So that's going to take them back 15. They're going to be deep in their territory. They're going to have to hope for no turnovers.
I guess the official has stopped talking.
I take it. He hasn't been turning on his mic, or maybe it's not working.
After the change of possession, a block.
There it is.
Whites, their ball, be penalized.
10 yards.
Thank you very
10
much,
yards
Mr. Mann.
From the point of. Okay.
Boy, Ted, you and I have got us some difficult decisions ahead of the.
Yeah, I know. Players of the game. This is tough.
5:56 to go here in the game. Danville will probably try to push it up to the middle on 2, pass on 3, punt on 4. There's the shift again. Sanders and Moser. Here's the pitch. Oh, no.
Ball's on the ground.
It wanted to be a pitch.
I think Danville got it back. It was a counter coming back to Moser out of that tight slot. But I think Perquette got down on it and got the ball.
Yeah, he's right down there. There you see him getting up off the ground. Slowly, very slowly. And he is definitely going to be sitting in the ice bath after this game.
Well, he's a leader out there, and you wouldn't get him out of this game. And being a senior, he's going to finish this game out. But that was dangerous. You're right. And that was an opportunity Milton had to pick that ball up and then only have to go 20 yards for a score.
Second and about 13.
No,
There's the handoff.
There's a penalty.
What was that?
They had motion on the right side.
And they just
you don't
driving them back.
Fancy in situations like this. You got 5 minutes to go. You don't go away from your regular offense. You don't get fancy. You do what you're good at.
Well, then that means they got to pass.
But you don't pass down there.
Got to be running dives here.
They are good at passing the ball.
Got to be running some dives.
Motion against the offense. That penalty's declined. It's third down.
Third down. Third and long.
Because if they take that penalty, it's still second. And this is an ugly series for the Ironmen. And it brings up 3rd and 11. 4:51 to go.
Clock is running. You watch that back, Judge, man.
Motion to the right. Perquette back to pass. He's got. Oh my gosh! How did he come up with that?
He put
Moser, Moser come up with that.
Right, Moser
right
made
over the
a
shoulder.
nice catch, and I'll tell you, Perquette put just the right amount of air under that ball. He just laid it right into his hands. That was a beautiful pass. That was what they needed. They needed a first down. They got what they needed right there.
What happened to the don't pass down there?
The dump pass. Oh, well.
Don't pass.
No, it was a third down.
Pass.
No, third down. Third down and long. You know, you definitely want to get the first. And that combination has been good to them all year.
As Moser is the leading receiver of the area and the leading target. Perquette will just hand that off to McConnell. He got across the 50. He is knocked out at the 44-yard line. That'll be close to 43-yard line. That'll be close to a first down.
I think it is a first down. And, you know, if I'm in this situation coaching, I'd do exactly what he did right there. I'd hand it to McConnell from here on in. I think that pass to Moser was the breaking point maybe of this Milton defense. You know, they know time's running out. Keep it on the ground, run the clock.
1st and 10 for the Ironmen on the 43-yard line, 3:51 to go. There's a handoff up the middle, McConnell, and there's a penalty.
Got a holding call, I'm sure.
Oh. Now the penalties are flying here.
Holding on the Ironman.
There you see it. Negated a good run by McConnell.
Holding. It's the offense. Means first down.
It'll be first in a bunch. Ball now on the Danville side of the field, the 49-yard line. That'll be about 20. As I do that calculation, I'd like to thank Larry Zabataki, our director in the truck, Brian Coyne on the sky cam, and Colleen Ernst, who did not field that punt on the bottom camera. Some of the Milton fans bailing out here. Burquette hands up the middle to McConnell, and he'll get about 3 on that. Just across the 50-yard line down to the 47 as things really have slowed down. 3:17 to go. Danville just content to keep the thing on the ground.
They just want to keep the clock running. That's right.
And we have a 2nd and 16.
I would think McConnell's going to get this.
A big handout to McConnell. He's across the 45.
Yeah, back to the original line of scrimmage anyway, Bob.
And it looks like, who called timeout? Milton calls timeout. That's their last
Milton
timeout.
calls timeout, yes.
And he'll stop the clock here with 2:40. There you see Ben McConnell, only a junior. It brings up a 3rd and 9. And again, I think you feel content just to run that puppy up the middle again.
Yeah, I would think so. You know, at this point.
And if you don't have to...
at this point, you get 2 downs. You don't have to punt. You got 2 downs to get it.
It brings up a situation here that the Black Panthers have got to get the ball back.
Yes, they do. They've got to tackle the ball. They've got to hope for a turnover here. Be grabbing at that ball. Try to pull it out.
I'll tell you that both teams have put the ball on the ground, but Warrior Run.
Give it the game, Bob.
Danville has put the ball on the ground several times tonight and has lost the ball. Let's see. It's going to be a pass. Burquette is under pressure. He steps up into the pocket and fires it to Peeler on the sideline.
He stepped up nicely, but he had plenty of room to run, too. He probably could have picked up plenty of yardage on that. Okay, so now you got a 4th down.
Yeah, well, just pooch it.
Even you make them go distance, man. Your punter, you got a great punter. Tell him to punt it out. Protect, inside gap, and get the punt off. You better hustle, though. They're coming in off the field now.
Well, Aston White back to punt. He's just got to try to kick this thing as high as possible. See if the pressure comes. No pressure. The return is on, and he's going to let it. He's going to take it on the 10. He's across the 15. He's across the 20. He's across the 30. He's across the 35. He's across the 40. He's down to the 50. 45-yard line, not the 55, the 45-yard line where the punter, Aston White, makes the tackle. A huge run back.
Great return, you're right.
And now that has got to spark the Black Panthers. They've got 2 minutes and 22 seconds to work, and they've got 54 yards.
That's not what you wanted from your punt coverage team. You know, you had a good punt. You wanted to pin back Milton deep in their territory, and you let them out. Now they got a chance to do some things here. Rolling to his left. Rolling to his left. That's a tough throw, but he delivers it, makes the catch. But he didn't get out of bounds. The clock is still running.
He didn't get out of bounds?
No. He was tackled before he got out of bounds.
All right, it's 2:07.
And
the clock is moving. And they have no timeouts. They cannot stop the clock.
Tells you better get up on the line quick, fellas. You don't got a lot of time. He's going to roll right here. He's got to. You got backside pressure coming. He gets it off. Oh, it's caught!
Swagger, he's got one guy to beat, and he's tackled on the 20-yard line.
Out of bounds.
Swagger was wide open on that, and the Black Panthers are moving the ball. They got a $1:34 left to get this thing in. The ball's on the 20.
20, yes. Okay, you got a minute and a half, a little bit more than a minute and a half, 20 yards. No timeouts. That's what's going to hurt them. Of course, they'll probably stick with throwing the ball. Incomplete pass stops the clock.
They'll send Andino and Swagger wide to the left. Out of the eye. Light will sprint to his left. He steps back up. He's running. And he's got McConnell to beat. McConnell knocks him down at the 12.
12.
And the clock will continue to move.
They have no timeout.
And it is now a second down and about 2. They have got to get moving here. If they poke it into the end zone, got to go for 2.
Got to go for 2, you're right. Now, can the young kids on this team handle this pressure situation?
Light is back to pass. He's got all day long. Now it closes up, and it's
incomplete.
It was thrown out of bounds, but it does stop the clock.
That's smart. Smart play. He saw there was nowhere. Don't run out of bounds with it. Get rid of it so you don't lose yardage. Throw it out of bounds.
Seconds left in this game in regulation, because if they can tie this up, we'll be going to overtime unless Danville can run it all the way back. But they've got to get it into the end zone and then line up for 2. It's 3rd and 2. Got it. Like to get the first down or the touchdown. Big pressure, and he's going to be sacked, and that's going to be grounded.
What's that going to be called?
Is that a fumble?
Going to be called a fumble?
What?
He really wasn't throwing it. He's calling it an incomplete pass.
I think he dodged a bullet on that.
Man, he was not throwing that to any receiver.
Ted, they dodged a bullet on that one. I agree. Now the game is coming down to this. You've got 43 seconds, but more importantly, you got to get 2 yards to get the first down to keep the thing alive.
And it is 4th down.
And you can't stop the clock.
And you don't have a timeout to call play. What's Max?
Yeah, I don't know what he's asking.
Wow. Wow, looked like an intentional grounding to me, man. But
well, they've got 43 seconds. More importantly, they've got 2 yards they need to get. Coming down to this, Ted. Swagger in motion. Light rolling out, rolling. He's got Swagger wide open.
He had him open, man. He had him open. He threw it behind him. He had him open. He hurried the pass.
That's probably the poorest
throw that he had all
the
night.
poorest
Yes,
throw he had.
yes. Well, you know, there again, he's sprinting to the left, throwing. He's a right-handed quarterback. That's a tough pass to throw. But he did have it. He could have taken his time a little bit more because Swigert was open there in the flat.
And all Danville has to do is get up there and take a knee, and they can roll out of here with the win. There you see Kevin Light probably beating himself up a little bit for that throw. And they are in the prevent offense here to prevent the fumble. And that should be it. Danville will win this game 14-6. Let's talk about the Danville player of the game.
Well, you know, I favor, being that I am small in stature, I go with favoring a small guy on this game tonight. You know, you can take a kid like Brandon Earlston, who's 5'8", 155 pounds, and he's given up a heck of a lot of weight to those linemen for Milton, and he played a whale of a ball game. And I think Brandon Earlston deserves the player of the game for Danville. For
And on
Milton,
the Milton
what do you
side,
think? For Milton's side, you know, there's a number of guys that played good games. But I look at a senior, Adam Stolnecker, who played offense and defense and does well both ways, and I think Adam Stolnecker deserves the player of the game as well.
Adam Stolnecker for Milton.
And Brandon
Earlston for the Danville Ironmen. And Danville will win it 14-6. And I'd like to say thanks to Brian Coyne and Colleen Ernst, our director Larry Zapataki, my partner Ted McFerrin tonight. I'm Bob Hickok saying good night, everyone. We'll see you next time right here on CCN Sports.